All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're still over at Boipuso Hall, and as you can see in the background, or here in the background, there's a panel discussion. So we might speak a little lower than we usually do, but hey, you can still hear us, and that's the most important thing. This gentleman was on a panel discussion, leading through disruption. I thought it was mind-blowing, and it's all about innovation and technology. And who better to speak to us about what it means to lead through disruption, obviously based on what we have seen so far and what they're doing and the levels and the levels and levels and levels. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to give it up for my brother, the CEO, and he says he's going to just be a founder for now because there are new developments that might be coming on. But put your hands together for the one you have always seen, and I'm so jealous he had a conversation with Vusi Tembekwa. I'm like, no, that should be me. Tobo is here. What's up, man?
I appreciate you, TKay, man.
Yeah.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. I think you and I have 1 hour, 30 minutes that we still need to do.
I'm going to take you on that,
at the podcast.
Yeah.
But Lion Tutoring is here, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I appreciate
Top 100 CEOs. So I've been asking every CEO that's been sitting here what it means to them. So the same goes to you, man. How do you feel? What does it mean to you?
Man, I'm excited, and I feel it's more of a team effort. Because you guys are seeing me here with the Lion Tutoring logo here.
Of course,
but there's so many 300 to 400 people that make this possible. So I would like to give it back to them because it's not a one-man show. There's, our tutors, our administrators, accountants, HR officers. I'm just so excited to be here, and it's a sign of validation. It's a validation to say what we've been doing has been changing lives, and that's the main purpose of a CEO, to change lives of students in terms of their grades, the people that we're employing, their families that they're taking care of financially. So I'm really privileged, man.
I love that for you, and I love that for Lion Tutoring as well. I think when I saw how they came up with the list, they'd say there was a rigorous research on leadership, excellence, and really just who the best leaders are, whatever determining factors we're looking at. What are some of the things that you feel they looked into you specifically and decided, look, this man has got to be part of this, and obviously representing Lion Tutoring.
Without blowing my own horn, I would just say one is consistency. Having a brand consistently servicing its clients, no matter turbulent times, and we've been through turbulent times.
Yeah, for sure.
COVIDs, even when we started, just startup capital that we needed to make this possible. Even now, in the advent of AI, there's always turbulent times. So for you to be able to create a brand, and without blowing my own horn, when you look at the other CEOs, the CEOs of big companies that they didn't found, but for me to be able to brag and say, this is a company that wasn't there, that I actually created, it gives me so much pleasure to say, over and beyond being a CEO, being a founder is something that we should really celebrate as a country, man, because that's where the jobs are coming. The jobs are not going to get any easier. The government isn't going to provide jobs, but they can create an ecosystem for us to found businesses, create businesses, employ people, and change the economy.
I love that. So, leading through disruption, get me back to that panel discussion, man.
Man, that was a dope panel. We had somebody else in EdTech, we had somebody in the health sector. Right now I think the biggest conversation was AI, artificial intelligence, and it changes on a day-to-day basis, and with us being service providers to kids, these guys are on top of the ball with technology. You don't even have to teach them. I've got a 4-year-old, I've got a 2-year-old.
Oh, nice.
And, from when you just place a gadget on them, they already know how to navigate. It's some of the things that really the panel was about. And, how do we also bring parents and older educators into the meeting room with these kids, to be able to teach them in ways that they respond to. We can't use the same teaching methods that you and I had.
I mean, it's over for us. It's over for us.
It's late for us. So we need to meet them where the technology is. And it's nice to have educators who are at least of younger age.
Yeah.
Not to say, I'm not trying to be an ageist.
I know.
Even the older tutors and teachers, they also need to adopt the technology. They also need to see how they can use these conventional ways of teaching and meet the student where they are.
Right. Yeah. I love one thing that you guys spoke about, especially from Lion Tutoring, which is something you're doing as well, is to focus on the parents, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously when you're tutoring someone, the focus usually is on the kids.
Yes.
But if you're dealing with technology, the parents also need to understand, right? The technological tools, AI tools please speak a little bit on that.
Yeah, parents need to also come on board because, now with most of the schools, they require students to have gadgets. Then you'd find most of them have a virtual classroom that a parent can also need to be able to understand what happens,
Yeah, because if they don't, right, kids might say they're doing that, but they're doing other things, right?
Exactly, and that's actually a good point because most of the kids would log out, but if you are tech savvy, you know which platforms that you can limit. Right now all my iPads at my house, they're all interrelated. If my kid is watching maybe a YouTube channel that I don't like, from my iPad I can stop YouTube.
Look at that,
and you can be able to monitor better so that your child doesn't actually twist your arm and say I'm using it for school and they're using it for gaming or something. So parents need to also come through and also just what we provide to parents. They can pay online without carrying cash, coming to the office.
So gone are the days, huh?
Gone are the days. You just put the same way you subscribe for your Netflix, you should be able to subscribe for getting a tutor. The same way that you can choose your Uber driver on the Uber app or InDrive like we have here. That should be how easy it is to get a tutor and see their qualifications, see their years of experience, and actually exercise your own biases. Sometimes we have biases. I want a female tutor come into my house, but I can't say that to somebody over the phone that I want a Botswana female, but you can exercise your biases because it's on an app. You can say, I'll take her instead of him. I'll take her because she went to this university or she did this particular course or she's got maybe some reviews from other customers. So you can be able to get reviews from what other customers are saying about the tutor.
I love that. So there was one thing, and I'm about to let you go, by the way. You spoke about competition.
Yes.
And I think I might have heard a company called Synthesis.
Yes.
What are they doing different? Elon Musk. Goodness. What can we do, man? But I think the question was prompted on the question of investment, right?
Yes.
And then that's when Elon Musk's name came up.
Yes.
How you definitely need investors for you to scale up even greater than what you have done now. It takes a lot of investors.
Yes.
Are you able to speak to us about what Synthesis is doing? Obviously, because there's a lot of money that's injected in there, and the difference with what you guys are doing and how you can get to that stage as well.
The good thing about what Americans are doing, they're investing in their own startups, and it has been a long time that our pension funds, that our parents have been contributing, have been investing in companies offshore. It's about high time that they invest in our companies. We have brilliant ideas, and like if you listen to some of the kids that we actually get to sit with, Kobo Innovation Hub, you'd see that they've got really life-changing apps, but it's about high time that our local investors invest in the startup ecosystem in Botswana, and because when we go out there, we compete with these companies that go, and you'd find the investors would say, man, here's runway capital for the next 7 years. Facebook wasn't even generating income, never mind profitability, just generating income, for 7 years. Some of our companies from day one were generating income, were generating profits, we're self-sustainable. And
So why is it hard to put some money in it?
that is what we need, investors to come through and say, investing in Botswana doesn't mean investing on government stocks that give you 8%. It means investing on your local startups, because the local startups are the ones that have potential to export, potential to hire even more local Botswana, and just change the whole landscape.
Dude, so much to talk about.
Yeah.
A whole lot to talk about. So that should prompt another episode where it's just you and I, and we speak. It should be sponsored though. We need people to sponsor this episode. You know,
exactly.
Thobo, you're doing amazing.
Yeah.
And man, we see it, bro. We see it.
Yeah.
But what I need you to do is to just keep inspiring, because I think one of the hallmarks of leadership really is to inspire.
Yeah.
And I think if you're on the list right now of top leaders, it means you may have done that, if not actually doing it. So keep doing it, and until we see.
We need people like you, TK. You help us to tell our stories.
Right.
Storytelling is the currency nowadays. So platforms like these, it means a lot to us.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Cheers, man. Until next time. I still hate the Vusi Temba choir part.
I'll connect you with them.
Please. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Lion Tutoring, all the way from Lion Tutoring, Thobo Khathola. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at the end of our program.